This track is so fucking good. Highly recommend. Osamu Sato, fucking genius. What's up, Cyanide? How we doing? We are sleep deprived. Yep. No, that's pretty much it. So this is gonna be an interesting stream. We'll see how long we do it. Yeah, highly recommend you check this out. He made a video game in like 1998 called LSD Dream Emulator, and the music's really fucking good. It's very good. And I've been a big fan. I mean, he's still making music to this day. This album's also really good, and his art style is just super cool. Very, I don't know how to describe it, like DMT-esque, happy, kind of cute vibes. It's cool. Anyways, oh man, I'm like way more tired than I thought. Okay, so I started this thing last night. It's a 18 notes per octave song, loosely inspired kinda by that same artist. Also, like, kind of African, like, how do you even pronounce Mbira? It's like a kalimba. Mbira pronunciation. Mbira. Anyways, yeah, it's a thing. It's an 18 notes per octave. 18 notes is very weird. You can think of it as having 3 whole tone scales because it's divisible by 6. Right, 12 is divisible by 6, has 2 whole tone scales in it. This one has 3. It doesn't have a 5th, like, at all. So it's weird. Well, I need to get rid of these sounds for a little bit. I was thinking filtering it, but maybe we can just like something like that. That could be cool. I want to try to add like another voice that's like much higher up. Is that even... yeah, that should be fine. Like, have it so that it like strums against the lower note. And then now that it's strumming, like it sounds kind of cool at some points and less so at others. Let's add some filter movement. This part's weird. What do I want to add to this? Let's add some markers. Da, da, da. What can we do? I want to add. Oh, I kind of want to add like one more voice. So we got these two dudes that are playing, and they're kind of both just doing opposite shit, you know. Oh, but this is making a polyrhythm, right? Yeah, this guy, we're playing like dotted quarter notes. This guy's just playing quarter notes. So do I want to do what can we do that's different? We just like keep adding to the polymeter kind of thing. I think that could possibly be cool. Something like that as an idea, right? It's kind of questionable, the polymeter bit. The melody's fine, but I don't know about that, man. I think we're just gonna make it quarter notes. Yeah. It would be cool to, like, I don't know, have super crazy polymeter stuff going. What's up, Gatito Lital? How you doing? Yeah, we're doing I don't know. It's odd. It's a weird. It's just like polymeter. We got some weird fucking scales going and a weird tuning. Let's revisit it from the beginning. This is all... So Ableton 12, you can import scale files directly into the thing. And then when you do that, all native instruments in Ableton get retuned. So I just like created a scale file for 18 notes per octave using Scale Workshop, and then you can just import it. It's called the .ascl file. And then it just retunes everything. Not only that, but also relabels all your notes. So, I mean, these aren't, I didn't give the notes labels. You can explicitly like name these. You know, I can name this like C, and this would be C sharp, and this could be C double sharp, and this could be D flat. And you can like, you could label the notes if you want. I just keep it in like general like numeric pitch set class notation for the most part when I work in any of the weirder tunings, just because I don't know, it's easier. You have to do a little bit of math, like modular math, sometimes, but I mean, the way I did it is I just figured out a scale I want to write in. And so we're in an 8-note scale. It's called an oneirotonic scale, which is a weird name, but effectively it's very similar to the diatonic scale in that you can construct it out of stacking a fifth over and over again. But our fifth in 18 notes per octave that we're using here is so sharp that when you stack it a bunch of times, you end up creating an 8-note scale instead of a 7-note scale. It gets structurally kind of weird. Actually, I don't even think I created the scale right. This can't be right. I don't understand how I created it like this. I don't know. We're in a scale. I think I technically didn't create the scale I was talking about correctly. No, this guy shouldn't be here. Never mind. No? I don't know what's going on. I'm sleep deprived. Leave me alone. No, it's like this. I somehow shifted that note up. Never mind. Ignore me. So yeah, we're in an 8-note scale. It somewhat resembles a diatonic scale, but uses a really like sharp fifth. So my style is based on using unusual scales and polyrhythm. Not all the time, but like something I explore. I'm like in this song in particular, I'm using, you know, a lot of like modal synths and stuff like that sound like embiras and like kalimbas and like ballophones and stuff like that, right? Just like idiophones that are often used in like African music. And African music features like a fuck ton of polyrhythms, like they get really complex with it. So I was like kind of inspired by that. So I just started out in this particular song. I like created a, you know, just like a 8th note thing, and then I was like, oh, well, it sounds sick as like a, you know, it's clearly like African inspired. Let's like lean into that direction. So I started adding polymeter and stuff like that, or polyrhythm. And then also like a lot of African music is, you know, in different tunings than what we're used to. So like I feel like it all kind of fits. Also, I do find that when you're sleep deprived, you can't think like at all. Your brain just keeps shutting off. I find that percussive idiophone like instruments work better with these tunings. So you'll notice here also I'm fucking around with the inharmonicity of this guy. Right, if it's like super low, it sounds like a plank of wood. It's also, you know, I have an LFO like skewing it around. But the point is, when you fuck around with the harmonic series and give it inharmonic harmonics, I guess. I can't. I'm sleep deprived, leave me alone. You can get away with more weirder tunings because the spectrum is different, so dissonance and consonance is perceived completely differently, right? So I'm fucking around, so like you hear this like, you know, that like kind of pitch bending sound that's applied, but it's applied only to the harmonics. That works really, really well with like Zen tunings. Another thing that I found, especially with these like weirder tunings that don't have a good fifth at all, is where the fuck, this guy here. pitch bending works really well if you're like pitching in. What's up, Jade? And Pokey. If you make it so that the pitch envelope like rises into your desired pitch, you could get away with like more complex chords, or like out of tune chords or whatever a lot easier, because the fact that it's like the pitch is bending into that note, it like, I don't know, it sounds more like a voice that's like, you know, slightly missing the note or whatever. The pitch bending gives you more wiggle room for like shit, right? Like that, versus like, I can tell that first dyad is like very clearly out of tune or like zen sounding, whereas if I pitch envelope this dyad, I'm like, oh, this is totally chill, it's just a cool sound. Very quartet, yeah. Come on. Oh yeah, it's got quartet in the song. This 228. Yeah. I mean, yeah, quartet fucking loves like mallet like modal synth kind of sounding timbres and stuff like that, wind chimes and all that. Let's make this sweep up like that. keep this section longer? Here, let's just duck out the reverb every once in a while. Sidechain is good. It's good. Too many layers, unfortunately. I really like this guy. I don't know what to add in this section. We need to change it up to another thing for sure. Hey, thank you, theme. Yeah, I noticed that. You're like one of my top like 3 listeners of that song. Racking them numbers up. Big things. Thank you, theme. Appreciate it. Okay. I think we need a new melody for this section, and then we can just like do this one more time, and then just outro, and then we're done. I think, honestly, I think it's that simple. Yeah. Okay. Here, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, and I'm just gonna blast this through my house while I'm peeing. See if that gives me inspiration. Watch the water synthesis video. The pitch variation has me stumped, as if the LFOs and faceplant on their arpeggiator and the random MIDI. Yeah, I couldn't get it right until I rewatched the section where he really explains the arpeggiator bit. I mean, I don't know. You just need to do a sample and hold. Just sample and hold on pitch, so every single note played is a new pitch, and then it'll just always be different. And then honestly, I think we just make an outro and it's chill. You wish the art would go longer than 1 second. Well, another big part is adding probability to the thing actually occurring. So it sounds random. So, I think you're in Bitwig, if I remember correctly, but one of the ways that he explained how to do it in Ableton, dude, my hair is so fucking kooky, can't handle it, is you take a velocity and then you make it so that the velocity is always random, right? So this completely randomizes the velocity every single time. Then you take another velocity, and this guy, what you do is you set it so that with this lowest parameter, anything that's below, any input velocity that is lower than this value gets deleted. It gets sent to 0. Okay, you're in Ableton, then perfect, right? So anything, like if it's set to this, any note that has a velocity less than 50% is going to get deleted, right? So this is going to randomize your velocity, and then 50% of them will get deleted. And then you just have another velocity doing this, and then this just normalizes them again, right? So then all you have to do is you can automate this thing, and then this is going to be what percentage of notes goes through, right? We shuffle, we randomize velocity. All notes with a velocity less than whatever this value is gets deleted. Normalize velocity again. So then now this value will basically is the percentage of notes that you let through, right? So you can like put this in a rack, add this, right? And then I don't know, now you got a cute little rack. You name this like I don't know, percent of notes. I can't, my brain doesn't work right now, leave me alone, right? And then you just add an operator, and then I don't know where I started making this. Where did I make this rack? Oh, right here, right? So you'd have like your note here, and then you have an arpeggiator, right? And so it's like random, man. So like if you want it to rarely occur, so that every 22 milliseconds there's a chance of a note occurring, right? So this is like determining what your grid size is or whatever. Right? So then you got some shit like that. And then you would put like an LFO. An LFO would be random on like the pitch. Or we do it like that. Come on. Why? And then another thing he was playing around with in the thing was pitch. No, what was it? MIDI, a MIDI delay. The fuck was it called? I thought it was called a MIDI delay. MIDI echo, right? Note echo, whatever. And this kind of like emulates like the kind of splashing effect that you get from like a bunch of bubbles or whatever, a bunch of the water spraying across a thing, right? And so with this set up, you know, one of these notes gets triggered and then it would trigger a bunch of notes afterwards, and then you can like change the pitch variation. Except none of them are being attached. Right? So like that's the sound of it. Every single delayed MIDI note gets pitched up 10 semitones here. So you just have to like figure out a way to make it so that the notes are randomized each time. Which I suppose, honestly, you could just do just by like spamming this a bunch of times. Right? You just do that a bunch of times and then set your arpeggiator to random. Right? So yeah, shit like that, and then you just like fine tune all those parameters, and then you can get different like bubbly sounds. I think that, yeah, that's basically how I did it. Okay, then this section over here. Well, we have 3 loops. What do we want to do here? Just outro here, or one more? I guess if we wanted to be really like DJ structure, we just do that. And then we just do that. Bam! what the fuck? My chat didn't update for a while. I didn't see like any of the messages in the past 5 minutes. What's up, Exen? Don't want to work right now. Work sucky. Just got to get through Friday. Yeah. I was gonna say I feel you, but I don't because I'm fucking unemployed. It is very super silly. It's pretty silly sounding, and like, you know, it's got the 4 on the floor, very dancey kind of vibe. Yeah, Exen, come on, release music. Oh no, never mind. He's doing it. I'm catching up on the chat. I'm doing it now. Done an awful job promoting. Yeah, dude, I promoted my most recent release 2 days before it was released, which was to say I made a single Instagram story post, and that was that. I don't know, I'm terrible at promoting. It's awful. But yeah. Outro now. Hey, we got the song's like 4 minutes long. I mean, it's pretty easy to do that when it's like super loopy, but loopy music is good, it turns out. Yeah, release music, told no one. Yep. Yeah, that'll do it. That will do it. Turns out actually promoting music works. Like, I remember when I released the Tangled Snakes EP, I actually put effort into marketing it, meaning I just like yelled about it on Instagram constantly for like a month in advance. I like would promo it in advance on YouTube videos and would like do the Spotify pre-save bullshit, would make song track breakdowns, and I did all the things, and I did a waterfall strategy on releasing it, and I hated every second of it, and I was like kind of hoping that it wouldn't change anything. I was kind of hoping that like it would make no difference whether or not I promoted something super aggressively or if I didn't. Because if it made no difference, I wouldn't have to do it again. But it absolutely did make a difference. And that was like the most successful release I've ever had. So yeah. Though that also coincided with like my YouTube channel like popping off for the first time and stuff like that. So there's like a lot of different factors, but it was also like just a really good release relative to other stuff. So yeah. Okay, this song is I like this song. I'm a big fan personally. I think it's pretty good. Yeah, I know, call me crazy. I think this outro where outro's in Succo land, but and then Yeah, the switch up there is fun. The story of how that song came to be is I was listening to it, either that song, like when it was a work in progress, or where is it? I was listening to this, or a different song, and I was listening to it on AirPods, and I was just like going on a walk, and when the AirPods, like the Bluetooth connection between the two pods, like it's out of sync, when like the clock desyncs, it starts like glitching and getting super staticky, and one will get delayed more than the other, and they like keep pausing and glitching trying to like line back up in time, and it sounds super fucked. And it happened at a point in the song where I was like, oh, that actually sounds kind of sick. So I just recreated it by like using a utility on the master and a Redux, and just like turning them on and off, and bit crushing and slamming and distorting, and using delays on the left and right speaker, and just like turning them all on and off randomly super fast. And things right. And that one's really fun when I play it live, because everyone thinks that the sound system's breaking, including the sound guys. The sound guys hate this song. Every time I play it, they like, one of them like starts panicking and like rushing to fix something that doesn't need to be fixed. Pretty funny. Yeah, desync. Just drop it in the Discord, and I will peep. Wait, oh, I think you already did. You already did. Okay. Word. Check it. Custy critters and big gulps. There we go. Okay. Big reverb. Sorry, unrelated, but what the fuck is up with SoundCloud? Like, their encoder now doesn't play out anything below 17 kilohertz. Like, I'm paying and I'm streaming the quote-unquote high quality option, and any song that's been uploaded in the past year does not stream in high quality. Previous songs I've uploaded still play in high quality. Like, what the fuck are they doing, and why hasn't it been fixed yet? Sorry. I'm just rambling, but it's been bothering the shit out of me. Dynamics are kind of weird. Like, in this section it gets way quieter. Shouldn't do that. At first I wasn't a fan of the like super lo-fi sound, but eventually I came around to it, because like literally everything has that kind of lo-fi filter whatever thing. It sounds good. It works. I feel like the snare at some points is clipping in a way that is completely independent from how everything else sounds lo-fi. It's like a very, very subtle thing. I don't know, but it's good. I like the sub bass line and all the riffs. It's just this good call and response. It's just good overall. Maybe something different with the bass line here. It's just kind of playing one static note, which is like a little bit boring relative to what you're doing before. And this build up is kind of boring. Yeah, it's kind of cheesy. I would more silence in terms of the sub. Have the sub be like a little bit more staccato or just like ring out and then fade to silence at different points and stuff like that. It's just kind of like playing the whole time. I don't really like the like filter rising upwards chords all that much in this section. They don't really slap. Just like this is all like relative speaking to your first drop, which I don't know, had like really cool motifs and rhythms and stuff like that. I'd say rhythmically your melodic elements here are kind of boring relative to before. Yeah, just like swing it harder, that kind of thing. Yeah. There's like a weird, super clipped out click right there. Honestly, just like, yeah, this section, it just doesn't hold a candle to the first. I would like just duplicate, copy over all the shit from the first drop, and then maybe try to layer and like work in. I want to hear the main like ideas from the first thing, but maybe with these added chords on top, doing an extra call and response thing or something. Yeah. I want that guy back. The da da do do, you know. Like maybe just bring it back, but like make it much lower in saw wavy and just like much lower in frequency, more bass tony. I want it to sound less lo-fi. I want it to sound more polished. I know it's a vibe. This is subjective, but that's just me. Like I totally can get down to it, and it's fine. But I want it to sound better. I want it to sound high fidelity. I know, call me crazy. But that, you know, it's a vibe in of itself. So like, feel free to ignore that. Also, having an idea come back again in a second section fucking slaps. It's so good. You know, if everyone's like, oh, I fucking love this part of the song, and then there's like a breakdown and then builds back up, and then it comes back in with like, you know, I don't know, triplet hi-hats on top instead. You're like, oh shit, it's the same thing again, but with triplet hi-hats, and people lose their fucking minds, you know? Like, that's good. It doesn't have to always like be a massive switch up. Especially if your idea is good. If your idea is super solid, then do it again, you know? I think you can mildly improve on the second half of this by making this follow the same rhythm of the first one a little bit closer. Make it rhyme more with the first thing or follow the same exact pitch contour. I think that could be better. You need to get better at that. I mean, it's easy to just copy this whole thing over and then add triplet hi-hats. Yeah, this whole section is kind of weird. Maybe take a leaf out of like Detox Unit kind of book and make it get super minimal. Get rid of the sub, maybe get rid of the drums. Get rid of the sub and the drums, or the sub and the kick and the snare. And just make it super fucking minimal, use a lot of empty space. And then bring it, I can imagine empty space working out really, really well here. Don't do the doubling kicks every bar cheesy build-up. I don't think it works here, but like, I don't know, I'm a picky fuck. So like a more minimal empty space breakdown slash build up, and then just like some cool riser, just like a white noise riser or something like that, and then it just goes back into this section again. Yeah, just be detoxing that. Yeah, I don't think that works. I think like a much shorter breakdown that goes back into the drop, like before you realize it's even happening, could be super cool. So there's a really good something something song, something plastic, and it has one of my favorite buildups of all time, because the breakdown and the buildup, like you don't even realize you're building up until like the breakdown's already ending. It's super, super cool. It's like a 8-bar breakdown slash buildup. It's really cool. Okay. So imagine you've been listening to music for like fucking 32 or 64 bars, right? Bro, he's 8 years old. God damn. That last drop isn't relevant. I wanted to hear it. But anyways, the point is, yeah, his older stuff is I've not been keeping up with him. All of his shit is good, but yeah, his bro, something, he was like my first like inspiration to make weird shit. He was like my first like weird bass music, experimental dance music inspiration. Massive inspiration. I don't know. I think you could do something somewhat similar in terms of the build-up and the breakdown, like subverting expectation, being a little bit shorter than expected. I think part of the way it really pays off is that there's no kick on the downbeat. It just like builds up, and then you're like, oh, you're shit, you're in it, and then the drums come in, you know? So fucking good. Yeah, this is super something something sounding. That's why I thought of it. Yeah, I would do like minimal. Yeah, I would just do that. Just be like Detox Unit and be like something something, and then the song slap way harder. Yeah, super cool. Very, very cool. Yeah, I found Tipper in 2015. Yeah, I wanted to make trap music. Getter used to be my favorite artist. I wanted to make bro step and rhythm and dubstep, and then not rhythm per se, but I wanted to make bro step and trap music. So Getter and something something and all the trap artists that were big in like 2017, those were all my inspirations. And then in like 2019, my friend showed me Tipper, and I was like, oh, I should strive to make good music. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Last section, it's too much of a repeat of the previous sections. I need to do something different there. Did I haven't been paying attention to Getter's rap stuff? I mean, yeah. I saw him perform as Tara Reid in like 2018 or something like that. Whenever he started that. Ending a series about making music till 2017. I started making music 2018. Like at the very end of 2018, I think. No, the very, very end of 2017, I think. Like December 2017, maybe? Or was it December 2018? I don't know. So somewhere around then. And I always took it pretty seriously. Well, at first I wanted to make beats and stuff like that, trap beats. And then I got into dubstep and stuff like that. But I got into electronic music because I went to a rave at like the very end of 2017. Was it? No, at the very end of 2016. I don't know. 2017, I went to a rave and I was like, oh shit, electronic music, pretty cool. Listened to a lot of electronic music for like a year. And at some point I realized that like there's no barrier to entry and you don't actually need to know music to start making music. You don't need to be a musician. You don't have to know music theory. You don't have to, you know, have been in a band or, you know, been in an orchestra or whatever. You could just fucking pirate Ableton and then just like learn how to make beats and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I did it. And then 8 years later, now I'm here. So that's cool. I went from metal to Enter Shikari. I don't know what Enter Shikari is. Then Wakan stuff, then Tipper. Yeah, that makes sense. All what he wanted to do was live drum and bass and rock, and then COVID happened. And COVID saved you, because drum and bass fucking sucks. You know, always a metalhead first, then started on drums. My computer music was so stupid for the longest. I always liked dance music, but I never like got super into it until I like went to raves and got involved in a scene. A lot of people around you said the same. Wasn't a big fan of drum and bass. I was around me and went to a rave, mostly jump up. Gotcha. Yeah, jump up is fun. Not D&B, but definitely more experimental jungle stuff. Gotcha. Not since 2009, but I had no taste yet. I just thought FL and GarageBand was fun to fuck with. Yeah. When did I start taking it seriously? I kind of always did. Like, my first year, I just made, like, trap beats and stuff like that, but I was, like, you know, I was learning, and I was aware that I was just learning. I would say once I discovered Tipper, and I actually had an idea for the type of music I really wanted to make and had a calling to, basically, like, deep music with depth to it, that evokes emotions and makes people feel things rather than like dubstep with just sound design that like is kind of soulless. Like once I had an idea that like I wanted to make down tempo music, you know, then I started to like really get involved. Honestly, once I decided on like actually calling myself Paleac, and when I released the year that I released my very first EP, 2019, this is when I started getting serious. So this was like 2 years in. This is like a year and a half, 2 years in when I made this. That's when I got serious about it. And then, I didn't release anything for 4 years. At least this guy. And, yeah. Alright. Shikari was a metal band since early 2000s. We got into like 2017. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know about this section here. I think I gotta just like change up timbres and stuff like that. But overall, I'm really liking the idea here. I'm pretty happy that I'm getting an 18 Ito thing to sound good, because 18 Ito like sucks. Something fun to think about. So 18 Ito has a whole tone scale in it, right? It's divisible by 6. It's got 3 whole tone scales, right? Offset by like 66 cents, whereas you know, 12 Ito has 2 whole tone scales that are offset by 100 cents. What's cool about that is, you know, it has a lot of similarities to 12. One thing that is interesting is you can play certain like jazz chords or like things that are very, very similar to jazz chords. So when you play oh man, my brain. Why the fuck is on my screen? Why do you look like that? You know what, just deal with it. It's just gonna look like that, folks. Like extended chords in jazz, oftentimes you like neglect playing the 5th. So we don't have a 5th. In 18, right? So, but in jazz chords, typically, like if you want to play like a dominant 7th chord add 9, you would exclude the 5th, right? This is with the 5th. This is without the 5th. This chord is in 18 Ito because this all comes from a fucking whole tone scale. And then what, dominant 7th, add 9, add 11? Is that add 9, add 11? I think so. This is also there, because again, it's all from a whole tone scale. So, you can still create some like pretty damn similar kind of jazzy sounding stuff. And then obviously it gets like more jazzy because you can add like microtonal notes and shit like that. So, I don't know, that's all like super cool. Now, I don't actually know the sizes of all the intervals. 18 Edo, read about it. 18, yeah, see, you know, we got all the whole tones. Super cool. Major third is 7 notes. Second is 4 notes. Right? And then dominant 7 is 15. So if you were to do that, 7, and then I think that's basically, yeah. So this here, that's a dominant 7th add 9 without the 5th, right? And then you can like just add, you know, 1 or 2 spicier notes. Like this is our approximation of a 5th. Which, I don't know, it's pretty fucking neat, I think. And then we can take this relationship between these 2 notes. Let's add that between that and our major third. And that and our dominant 7th chord. And then let's like, we can legato it, and then we can just add like an arpeggiator or something, right? Right, that's all fun and cute, and like for the most part, there's only like 1 or 2 notes in here that are quote unquote microtonal, but anyways, yeah, 18 Edo, cooler than I thought. I always just kind of ignored it. You can have quote unquote deep dubstep. Well, I'm saying like who the fuck is gonna like, I don't know, have like life epiphanies and cry, you know, listening to fucking Subtronics, right? Like, why the fuck do I even have Spotify? You know, it varies. Also, like, I don't know, it doesn't even fucking hold a candle to Tipper. It's like not even music related to like what you're capable of in those other genres where you are, you know, playing music at other BPMs. If you're locked into one single BPM the entire time, like what the fuck are you even capable of doing, you know? Like relative to all the other possibilities that are available. Playing in other time signatures, you know? Playing in other keys besides F. Shit like that. It's so locked in to like one single thing. You're just basically just exploring timbre and sound design, which, like, you know, it's cool. Of course there's still cool stuff you can do there, but it's just like infinitely more deep if you just horizons expand a lot more. So yeah, people putting what's popular over exploration is annoying. Yeah. And it's okay. It's okay. Last section needs a little bit of work to make it just a bit less monotonous. But I like it. I like the song. It's like 5 minutes long. Goddamn. Yeah, it's 5 minutes long. I only start to get a little bit bored like 4 minutes in, and it just needs like a little bit of a tweak. Yeah, eat some title pods. Angry about Spotify. Yeah, switch to title. It was pretty easy to switch to, and it does sound better. It genuinely, like, I did an A and B with Spotify, and like on, you know, depending on the music or whatever, if it's like complex enough, dynamic enough, you absolutely can hear like an upgrade in quality. It's subtle, you know. You have to like really A/B and pay attention to it, but it's there. So you get to be a snob and be like, I only listen to FLAC. Oh, even Bandcamp is even more snobby than Tidal, so good shit. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I think I'm probably done streaming for now. I'm very tired. I'm very sleep deprived, but I'm pretty happy with this successful 18 Ito thing. Do you use some software to swap your playlists over? Yeah, there's like a website, and it's like if you have a playlist that's like larger than 500 songs, then you have to subscribe for like $1 or $5 or something. And so I spent like $5 to transfer over like 1,500 songs to Tidal. So to be honest, I haven't even been like listening to them that much. One cool thing about switching to this is I'm listening to different music because it's like, I don't know, new interface, finding different songs, stuff like that. So like, but here I have like all of my liked songs from Spotify are just in this giant playlist here. It's pretty easy. You just Google, like, I don't know, copy over songs from Spotify. It's pretty easy to find. And then yeah, I've been fucking obsessed with this Osamu Sato dude. He's so good. Yeah. All right. I'm super tired. I'm done streaming. This was fun. Got my reps in for the day. Let's just call this, something like that. Okay. I'm ending the stream. Thanks for hanging out, everyone, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Yeah, take care, y'all. Yeah, thanks, Sammy. Appreciate it. It's actually the morning for me. It's 1 p.m. Did not get enough sleep. Yeah. All right, take care, y'all.